May I call dignitaries to come on the dais? May I request all the dignitaries? क्या मैम? अफरोज May I start? Respected dignitaries, on and of the panelists, distinguished paper percentages, and dear students. On behalf of the Department of Education and Training, College of Teacher Education, Asansol, and the Department of Education Technology, CU, I extend a warm to the valedictory session of the two-day international conference on NEP 2020, the future pathways for teacher education. We are truly honored by your presence, which adds grace and meaning to this concluding session of the conference. Formally begin with, we, the MANUU, having a tradition of starting with the Quran recitation. That I would like to invite Umar to recite few verses from the Holy Quran. Umar Ashraf, please come.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أمن هو قانت آناء الليل ساجدا وقائما يحذر الآخرة فيرجو رحمة ربه. قل هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون إنما يتذكر أولو الألباب. قل يا عبادي الذين اتقوا ربكم للذين أحسنوا في هذه الدنيا حسنة وأرض الله إنما يوفى الصابرون أجرهم بحساب. क्या वो शख्स जो सजदे और क़याम की हालत में रात के औकात फरमाबरदारी में गुजारता है, आखिरत से डरता है और अपने रब की रहमत की उम्मीद लगा रखता है, क्या वो नाफरमानों जैसा हो जाएगा? तुम फरमाओ, क्या वो इल्म वाले और बेइल्म वाले बराबर है? अकल वाले ही नसीब हैं। फरमाओ, ऐ मेरे मोमिन बंदो, अपने रब से डरो। जिन्होंने भलाई की उनके लिए इस दुनिया में भलाई है, वसी है। सब्र करने वालों ही उनका सवाब बेहिसाब भरपूर दिया जाएगा। आमन्तु बिल्लाहि सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम।
Thank you, Umar Ashraf, for the beautiful recitation from the verses from Quran. I request the technical team of MANUU to sing Tarana.
A very good afternoon to all. Due to some personal emergency, Professor Sir is not able to come to our valedictory session. So I now request our senior professor, Professor Siddiqui Mohammed Mahmood Sir, to please chair the session.
Tarana for their seamless technical support. Before I would like to call our HOD ma'am. Just I will be giving little introduction on ma'am. Professor Shaheen Sheikh is a distinguished academician and able administrator, presently serving as the head Department of Education and Training, MANUU Hyderabad. With her rich experience in teacher education, her unwavering commitment to academic excellence, she has been guiding force behind several academic and research initiatives. I have the honor to invite Professor Head of the Department MANUU to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Jabbar Sir. Respected Chief Guest, Professor Shashikala Vanjari, ma'am, respected Chairperson of today's function, Professor Siddiqui Mohammed Mahmood, sir, respected guests of honor, Professor Mohammad Razaullah Khan, Director CDOE, MANUU, and Shri R. Subramanyam, IAS, retired, Chairperson of My Sathi Foundation. Respected Dean, Professor Vanaja, ma'am, distinguished scholars, delegates, faculty members, dear students, and all the participants. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and good afternoon. It is a matter of great honor and privilege for me on behalf of the Department of Education and Training, Maulana Azad National Urdu University, to welcome you to the valedictory session of this international conference on NEP 2020, the Future Pathways for Teacher Education. The international conference was jointly organized by Maulana Azad National Urdu University and the University of Hyderabad and CT Asansol. And I think it has really provided a vibrant platform for reflection, dialogue, innovation, and innovation in teacher education. First of all, to this particular gathering, I would like to extend a warm welcome to Professor Shashikala Vanjari, ma'am, because she has been there with us since yesterday morning, where she was there in the inaugural session, and she has stayed back till the valedictory session, which is usually, in very rare cases, it happens so. So thank you, ma'am, for sparing so much time for us in particular conference. A special thanks to Mohammed Mahmood sir, our chairperson of today's function. Last moment, I just made a call and sir has agreed to chair this particular session. So a special thanks, sir, to you for accepting our invitation and for chairing this particular session. I would also like to extend my thanks to Professor Razaullah Khan, sir, because he has always been there for us. And I think the DD Auditorium is part of the CDO. It's now called CDO. We are used to calling it as DD Auditorium, but CDOE Auditorium is also part of Razaullah Khan, sir's empire, I can say. So thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and being the guest of honor today. I also extend a special thanks to Shri R. Subramanyam sir, who is IAS retired chairperson of My Sathi Foundation, for accepting our invitation and gracing the occasion today. I extend my a warm welcome to all the dignitaries who are there seated in the front rows. They have been the resource persons of different plenary sessions. So welcome to all of you all, sir. I think I would like to say that we have had a lot of deliberations since yesterday about the future pathways of teacher education. And we have all come to, I have heard so many times the word artificial intelligence and online education. And as I had said in a previous conference also, I think artificial intelligence is good. It is helping us, but it is in no way greater than human intelligence. It is, you can even take a simile that human intelligence is God and artificial intelligence is human. So nobody can take the place of God. So artificial intelligence is not going to take the place of human intelligence. One more word which I have heard through conference is online education. Online education, I think today I can very firmly say that online education is off and offline education is on, because we all can agree that offline education is what actually matters, or what is really effective in today's day and age. Of course, there should be a combination of technology, but a judicial use of technology. I think with that, once again, I welcome all the people to this particular valedictory session, and hope that this session also is a grand success, just like the rest of the conference. Thank you.
Very much, ma'am, for your gracious and inspiring welcome address. Your insightful words have set a meaningful and positive tone for this valedictory session. Now it's a turn for our Dean. With due respect and great honor, I would like to introduce our beloved Dean, Professor Vanaja ma'am, a distinguished academician, visionary leader, and constant source for inspiration for all of us. Her commitment to academic excellence, research, and institutional development has been instrumental in the successful organization of this national conference. Okay. I now humbly invite Professor Vanaja ma'am, Dean, to kindly present the conference report. Thank you, ma'am.
I began with good morning and welcome yesterday with immense happiness, joy, and something I'd say mixed feelings of, I don't know how to put it. I'm here to present before you the report of this conference. At the outset, yes, the dignitaries on the dais, Shri R. Subramanyam Garu, retired IAS. I'm sure he is not retired. He's only retired from IAS, but he is doing yeoman service for education in particular and everything else in general. Sir, it's our pleasure that with a very short notice, you agreed to come and address our valedictory session. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, our Vanjari Shashikala ma'am, whom VC sir has invited and said she can always walk into MANUU. So that's the kind of bonhomie and relationship we share with her. Thank you, ma'am. As concept, part of us and always with us. The Department of Education and Management and Commerce are not different. So thank you, sir. And Siddiqui Mahmood, sir, thank you so much, sir, for stepping in right at the last minute. So thank you, and thank you, Shaheen Sheikh. Yeah, so what we began today actually has taken shape about 3 months back. From October, we have started looking at it, choosing the title. It has gone through lots of brainstorming, whether it should be a general education. Then we decided, no, we will have it in teacher education. And that's how it was coined NEP-2020, Future Pathways for Teacher Education. Then we had our exams, our vacation, and then we went to a little hibernation mode. And then we came back in the new year after the vacation was done. And whatever you saw was arranged in the last 1 month. So at the outset, let me congratulate each one of my team, the department faculty, the teachers, the students, the research scholars, CT Asansol, who has been supporting us, and UAH, the staff, and the faculty who have collaborated with us. So if I'm standing here before you with this happiness, it is because of all of you, and I'm representing all of you here today when I'm presenting the report. So the inaugural session, as you told me after it, well begun is half done. I think well begun is completely done there. We went into the mode that the ball has set rolling, it will roll, it will not stop. So the inaugural was very well organized. The distinguished speakers highlighted the role of teachers as nation builders, ethical professionals, and agents of. Yes, emphasis was placed on multidisciplinary teacher education, ITEP program, which I take as my baby, and the ITEP students sitting here know मैं उनको अपने बच्चे बुलाती हूँ, because the program I really own it in two ways. One, because I'm part of NCTE SRC, and the other, we were there when this started. So ITEP program, it was, as madam said, you forgot madam, along with AI and online, ITEP went on buzz. So maybe we should add that ITEP is one of the major pathways. Yes, how it began, what will happen, but the future for ITEP definitely is going to be bright. So the ITEP was also talked about. So we talked about, yes, technology, artificial intelligence, sustainability goals, all linked towards preparing future-ready teachers. We had 3 plenary sessions in all. One plenary day, which looked into Indian knowledge systems, teacher education, curricula, challenges of institutional transformation, and growing relevance of AI and the 21st century skills. So this was what we did in plenary 1 yesterday. We had 2 plenary sessions today. So the second plenary session, yes, we had our chairman then talking and telling us about professional learning communities. Yes, sir, we all agree. Responsibilities come with rights. So I think as teacher unions, we have to now think towards professional learning communities, collaborative cultures, meaningful integration of Indian knowledge systems. And we had, I think, 6 international participants presenting their views from Ketki madam from Australia. We had Maharaji from South Africa, Durban. We had Nafizuni. We had Riyaz sir, Professor Riyaz from UAE. We had Jamil Ahmad from Saudi Arabia. And we had our young friend whose name I'm not able to pronounce, from Norway. So we had all these people who were partly online and partly offline. Yes, they all point, and we should appreciate trying to tell us how their countries are and how be helpful for us to collaborate to make NEP 2020 implementation a reality. There were so many similarities. I'm sure all of us who have gathered here, not only MANUU, can now bridge the gaps between these countries and see what can take forward. And then the plenary session on day 3, yes, it was held at exactly the lunchtime, but it was food for thought. All the speakers in that session just talked to us about artificial intelligence, ITEP implementation, inclusion, equity, internship models, and institutional governance. So that was a big lot. And I only told the topic. Every plenary speaker needs to get a big hand, because they came prepared for 30 minutes and we cut them short for 5 to 8 minutes. But yes, in that 5 to 8 minutes also, they have given us food for thought. And I'm sure we enjoyed the lunch after that, because we had everything to think about it. Then let me go back to day 1, where we had technical sessions. To the people who have joined us new, sir, we had almost 400 entries, and it was not free walk-in. All of them have paid nearly 1,000 rupees per author. Yet we got these many, means it shows the interest people are having in forming teacher education in the country. So we had to divide it into different sessions, online and offline. So we had, on the first day, we had theme 5 and theme 4, that is teacher as nation builders, ethics, inclusion, and multilingualism. We had papers on theme 1, integrated teacher education program, theme 2, technology, artificial intelligence, and digital literacy. So we had, I think if my number goes right, 13 parallel sessions. But I also would like to congratulate each of the delegates who really were present from the beginning and waited till all the other friends finished their presentations and left only after 5:30. So each of you deserves a clap from us. Day 2, we had 2 sessions. Honestly, again, sharing with you, we thought at least these 15 plus 50, 30 people will show up on the second day. That's the reason we had some session on the second day. But I am happy that those who finished papers on the first day also, you have turned up on the second day. So congratulate yourself for it. So on the technical sessions, day 2, we had papers presented on digital literacy, AI ethics, and continuous professional development, and policy implementation and institutional transformation. And as per, I have not been able to be present everywhere. What report I can gather is the attendance is around 95%. So this is something I, as an educationist, have not seen in conferences. So this is something good. So at the valedictory, I would like to also talk about one person who has been helping us out all through and who was responsible for getting our souvenir on time, literally in 48 hours. So if the chair permits, we would felicitate Shri Suresh for being our Sati and helping us with the souvenir on time. Suresh ji is the 400 pages book and less than 48 hours I have given him time. And he has done a wonderful work. So I request Shashikala Vanjari madam and other dais to just felicitate sir. Plain wala. Last, a few words.
A very good evening. It's a huge privilege for me to stand before you all on this August session, the valedictory function of NEP-2020. We at as Dr. Vanaja and the many speakers emphasize about the teachers as a national builders. We at Neel Kamal specialize books on education, psychology, pedagogy, English language, other things in education. Apart from that, we at Neel Kamal publish 2 journal. One is EduTracks, completed 25 years. It's a monthly journal, and we have been successfully continuing without any commercial advertisement in that. And apart from that, one more journal is a Journal of Community Guidance and Research, which we have continued since past 42 years. It is an interdisciplinary journal. It's a quarterly one. I thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity on this function. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Please give a big round of applause. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for the comprehensive and insightful presentation of the conference report. Your leadership and guidance have played a pivotal role in making this 2-day international conference a great success. Now it's a time. Now it's a time to felicitate our guest. May I request Mr. Razaullah sir to present memento to Shri Subramanyam sir. Please give a big round of applause. Thank you, both of you. Thank you, sir. I request again Professor Razaullah sir to present a memento to Shashikala Vanjari ma'am. Please give a big round of applause. Thank you, Razaullah sir. Thank you, Shashikala ma'am. Okay. Request our Dean, Professor Vanaja ma'am, to present a memento to Razaullah sir. Please give a big round of applause. Thank you, Razaullah sir. Thank you, Vanaja ma'am. Ma'am, may I request again to give presentation or a present a memento to HOD ma'am. Hi, Vanaja ma'am. He is presenting to HOD ma'am. Please give a big round of applause. Not enough this much. Little louder. Please, little louder. One more request to Vanaja ma'am. Please present one more memento to our Siddiqui sir. Sorry. Actually, it is our tradition. It's not our tradition, it's Indian tradition. Thank you, both of you. Thank you. Here in the felicitation ceremony, now I hand over the responsibility of anchoring to my esteemed colleague, Dr. Firdaus Tabassum, who will kindly take proceeding forward. Thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bar sir. Assalamu alaikum, namaskar, and good Ider Middigam in Norway language. Now, we shall with the valedictory session. Before to briefly introduce Professor Muhammad Razullah Khan sir. Sir is a well-known academician and professor in the Department of Management and Commerce at MANUU Hyderabad. He is also serving as the director of CDOE, over 35 years of teaching and research experience. He has published 71 research papers and several books. Now I request जोरदार तालियां बजनी चाहिए सर के लिए.
It's a good afternoon. In fact, good evening. All is well that ends well. Respected dignitaries, Chairman of the session, valedictory session, Professor Siddiqui Muhammad Mahmood, the Dean and heart and soul of this occasion, Professor Vanaja, Professor Banjari, the Honorable Vice Chancellor from Delhi, Mr. Subramanyam IS is here with us from My Sathi Foundation, Head Department of Education, Professor Shaheen Sheikh, dignitaries of that side of the dais, and all the ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I must congratulate the entire team of the department for having organized so wonderfully. You all deserve a big congratulations for this. Indeed, it was a gigantic task of collecting, going through, inviting them, organizing them, and arranging the parallel technical sessions of 400 plus researchers. It's not easy, a difficult task. And you don't want to, miss out anything, because people have different ideas with the same theme, with the same sub-theme of the conference. And as we know that we are in the transformation age, where AI is leading to many walks of life. Education need for that. We know that India is the third one in the Stanford AI Vibrancy Index. India was fifth 3 years back, rose to the position of fourth, then left behind UK, is now third in 2025. So it's a great achievement for this nation. We all deserve, because we are the torchbearers being in the field of education and academia. We need to show the way or the path. In AI index, knowledge is the component which is at the core. And you must be knowing that nowadays economy is not led by the resources, it is led by the knowledge. In 2004, World Bank has introduced one Institute for Development, that it was K4D, it was called, Knowledge for Development. Madam might be knowing very well, Rama Madam is with us. That index has set the tone for going on the path of knowledge economy and economy index. Education is very important pillar therein. In AI also, where we are having 7 pillars for vibrancy index, education is a dominant one. When we talk of AI transformation, as I told you, the big hit is education. Indian education system being second in the world, second largest in the world, with a network of 1,200 plus universities, 52,000 plus colleges, enrollment of more than 4.25 crore, wherein distance is also contributing 41 lakhs. So it's a big number that we have. And these millions, we have to guide them for the new technology to be taken or adopted. So we are into it. We have to do it. And this is very right time that Madam has taken one of the important area, that is AI into education. So Madam, you deserve congratulations for timely organizing this wonderful conference at international level, to which not only people from India, but also from the foreign lands attended online. You must be hearing since last 2 days, yesterday and today, in different sessions, where we stand as long as spending in terms of GDP is concerned, 8%, despite a target of 6%. It is not easy allocating resources. And our guest, IAS, Mr. Subramanyam, may be able to understand and highlight it very well, because it is his domain, how the allocations are made. And keeping a target of 6% is not an easy one for any economy. If you talk of the developed economy, they are also spending somewhere around 5%. Since our economy is rising, so we expect that it is to achieve. But in absolute terms, of course, we are increasing 4 to 6% in terms of real, rupee term. But in terms of percentage, of course, we are not spending. And such definitely provide insight and also roadmap for development. See, as we know that we need to have at least 50 hours of capacity building for every teacher, as per the NEP. So in the last 2 days, at least you must have completed 10 hours out of that, I think. So 5 more such a type of orientation, you may say, or conferences or platforms will be available to you in the years to come. You must have heard so much of NEP and how it is transforming, or how it is setting the pathway for the future accomplishment. Our best wishes are there. At the same time, I just finished my thing, but by saying one thing, that in 2007, there was one book, and there was one, I may say, Michael Spence was given the Nobel Prize for his book, and the title was Next Convergence. In that, he talked about the multi-speed and multicultural, multi-language society, how it will be. And basically, the knowledge society concept was given by Peter Drucker, a management guru, in 1950s. Now we are into it. So others are there who give the roadmap that we that particular book. It is very interesting that he has given 2 pictures, tortoise and a hare. Normally we consider them to be for competing each other. But he talked in his book that this is multi-speed world where mergers and alliances are there. Collaboration is the norm of the day. And you have to work with all. In this global world, multi-speed, multilingual, multiculturalism. So you have to survive that. And in that dominant role is the economies with the technology. So we are seeing that, I mean, say technology is shifting more and making it more complex. And there is a good mix of resources in terms of knowledge, technology. This is what we are calling it as AI and trans. We hope that initiatives, whatever education, because it is setting a pathway. Really path for our future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Subramanyam, IS retired Chairperson of Sati Foundation and guest of honor of this event. Sir, it is my privilege to briefly introduce you. Shri R. Subramanyam is a retired IS officer with extensive experience in public administration and educational reforms. As Chairperson of Sati Foundation, he has been driving initiatives in education policy and institutional development. His expertise in governance and policy implementation has influenced such as NEP 2020. Sir, may I now request you to kindly address the gathering? तालियां बजनी चाहिए. मुझे लग रहा है कुछ लोग लंच करके सो गए. प्लीज सर.
Friends and all the academicians here, my greetings on this occasion. Very impressive the way that you have put so many people together in such a short time. My sincere gratitude to you. Education is one sphere where, the growth comes by discussion. In a company setup, in a business setup, people will say, don't talk, do work. This is exact opposite. Here, talking is working. So, because the knowledge grows only by discussion, by new thoughts that emerge. So, what you are doing, what you have done, bringing more than 275 papers is what I was seeing, is a phenomenal amount of work. I congratulate you and your entire team in this great effort. And this conference is organized by 2 universities coming together, University of Hyderabad and MANUU. That augurs very well, because when NEP talked about, it is actually having at the back of its mind a collaborative mindset, Not as much a competing mindset as a collaborative mindset. Because this is one area where we realize that that the growth of the knowledge will come only by collaborative research. I mean, we are seeing how the research that is done by a single individual and the research done by a group of individuals working together across continents, definitely across institutions, the value of it is a lot more because there is a hybrid of ideas, there is cross-fertilization, and that really sort of leads to growth of new knowledge. So it's good that both the universities have come together and done this work. And but having said that, I have a bit of a discomfort with events as a whole, because the problem is that the event has got a starting point and end point. So whereas the reform process has no end point, it has to keep on going. You have to keep looking at it where you are going wrong. You have to bring the feedback and then keep on improving. So I really hope that this particular event, this particular seminar that you have organized will actually result in snowballing of ideas. See, that is very, very important. The people who come here, if they have taken that, I would like to see as a result of this workshop. So friends, you have debated a lot. A lot of people have written, discussed, presented papers, 13 parallel sessions on various topics. Friends, NEP has actually really looked at, having been one of the persons who involved in bringing out this document, that I just wanted to share with you some of the thought process that has gone in designing NEP. So NEP, when we really started sitting down, Kasturirangan's report came, and it was a huge document of 450 pages. It was a seminal work. It was a huge work. And then we told Professor Kasturirangan, no, I mean, what do I do with this 450? Nobody will read this sort of a book. So he says, no, this is all our collective thinking. Do what you want. So it was lying with the ministry. Then we realized that the essence of it have to be brought in an easily comprehensible, easily readable, easily actionable document. So the 60 pages that you see of NEP 2020 has come through a distilling of the wisdom that has actually gone through this 450 pages Kasturirangan report. So today we have with us the 60 pages. I'm sure all of you have certainly read it, because if you have written about it, you would have read it. Friends, NEP really looked at a transformation. It is not simply a growth process. It really looked at transforming a system. Transforming what? For a long time, for almost 6 decades, we simply inherited a colonial mindset where education, especially education, is only a passport for getting a job. And that particular process actually has led to simply learning things and then writing examinations, getting good marks. The entire concept of a critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, they are never found in our system. In fact, our system, right from the classes, from your school, if somebody asks questions, a lot of questions in the class, the teacher will say, "Ye to bahut problematic child." And it will be a talk in the room. "Arey, wo bachcha jo hai itna badmash hai, bahut questions puchta hai." So next teacher will say, "Tum utho, piche jao." That has been, when a teacher does something like this, it is not considered as a very objectionable behavior. It is considered as a normal behavior, because in a classroom, you are supposed to be well behaved, listen to what the teacher says, learn what is taught, and acha marks aana hai. Bas. This is the mantra which has guided the education system for more than 6 decades. And as a result, look at what happened after this continuation of the colonial mindset. You have very few people who, if you actually scratch the surface, you have very, very little thinking process that goes into the knowledge generation. when I was Secretary Education, we used to get lots of, delegations from other countries. So all of them used to say, India is such a big country, so many, 40,000, 50,000 institutions, more than 3 crores at the time, 3.5 crore students. But then your students are not creative enough. Your innovations are not adequate. They are not according to the numbers that are there in your institutions. When we just went back, looked at the numbers, nothing more stark, nothing more stares at your face. That India and China having started same time, both of us were in 1940s, we were both at the same time. Suddenly there is a huge jump in terms of the number of innovations in the Chinese universities. It has gone up by 1,000%. So whereas India just went through a very, very normal growth, and as a result, the gap has widened. And today, China is having the highest number of patents anywhere in the world, and we are somewhere struggling 4th, 5th. So friends, the NEP's thinking process was primarily to bring a transformation from a rote learning to a critical thinking based learning, from knowledge absorption to knowledge generation. See, knowledge absorption is very good for school. Okay, you take the knowledge, but the higher education, that is not possible. You have to generate new knowledge. Friends, we have seen that a few revolutions have actually changed the world economy. I will not go to all of them, but I would say that the latest revolution which has actually changed prior to artificial intelligence was the entire thing of innovation. Can we innovate new things? Can we make things better? Can we make processes easier? Can we make products which are more useful for the people? So this innovation has swept across many countries, and those countries which have actually looked at this, used the knowledge, created new things, they suddenly hit a huge jump in terms of the economic growth. So we caught up a bit late, post 1915s, when the entire innovation ecosystem started. So there has been a huge amount of change. I mean, now we are talking about 13,000 institutions, HEIs across the country, where there is an institution innovation councils, including MANUU, where the people come together, they debate on problems, look at, can we solve this problem? So that augurs well. So friends, the NEP therefore wanted to bring a transformation, but since NEP has come, actually the first draft was ready in 2019, it came out as 2020. So since the last 5 years, suddenly things have changed. New things have come, which we have not anticipated when the NEP was being prepared. One, of course, is very obvious, the way that the epidemic has struck and closed down the whole world. And one of the worst sufferers has been the education system. There has been a very sharp and appreciable drop in the learning outcomes across the country in the schools and universities. पूछो मत, because इसमें तो कोई measurement भी नहीं है, whether learning outcomes हुआ कि नहीं हुआ कि उसका there is no measurement at all. But school where there is a measurement, we found very rapid fall. So we never looked at that sort of a scenario. Second thing that has happened is the advent of artificial intelligence, and today you have debated on that. Friends, AI has hit especially the education system like we never expected before. Today, easy use of the AI tools, the student is having the answer before working out the problem. Any problem within a fraction of a second, it in his on his mobile, in his laptop, on his computer. But he just doesn't know how to reach that particular problem. How to solve the problem, he doesn't know, but he knows the answer. So friends, this is the advent of AI is a huge challenge. It's a great opportunity, but it is a huge challenge, especially for education. Because I am worrying, I am seeing across campus in the country, schools, I see that the cognitive processes are taking a huge hit. What is a cognitive process? Your ability to envision, your ability to analyze problems, your ability to find solutions, your ability to create, your ability to communicate. These cognitive processes, friends, is actually taking a huge toll. And today, I request every teacher who has been in this seminar to see how you can actually face up this challenge. To face up this challenge, it will be too late to save the cognitive abilities of the students. They will simply come out as dependent entities who, for everything, they are checking ChatGPT. They know nothing. They just check ChatGPT and reel out answers. In the Center for Research in Schemes and Policies, we train lots of youngsters, young professionals. So we get a best of students applying for it. We put them through a rigorous testing process before we award our fellowship. So this time, we always give essay questions, very tough essay questions, complex essay questions. I've got fantastic answers. Then in the interview, the shortlisted persons, we have asked, your essay was very good. Can you just tell us how did you get this? Sir, which essay? You written an essay just 2 weeks back. Sir, I wrote it. I said, if you don't remember what you have written, how did you write? Sir, there is one AI tool called Cluey.ai. I don't know if you all seen it. It just hangs around on your laptop, on your screen. It is just hanging around. Nobody can see, only you can see. And whatever, it is listening. Cluey is listening. And if you say anything stupid, it will tell you, don't say this, say this. लिखा रहता है, बस पढ़ ले रहा, हो गया आंसर. इतना आसान है. We are going to face this situation in class, schools, universities a lot more. So the students say that, whenever the teacher is speaking, giving a lecture, they are checking whether the teacher is saying right or wrong. You say anything wrong, he is going to laugh at you or just walk out coolly out of the class. Already, higher education institutions are facing empty classrooms. MANUU तो अलग है, थोड़ा सा अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूशन है. बच्चे सब थोड़ा सा डिसिप्लिन्ड है. जाके दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में कोई ही नहीं. दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में ऐसी so many colleges, सब खाली है. बच्चे कहाँ पर है? लॉन पे बैठे और कैंटीन पी रहे. Why? They think that they know everything because they have the ChatGPT with them. Actually, they don't know anything. So how do we make the classrooms functional again? How do you get these students back into the classroom? Friends, that is a big challenge for the teacher. It's a challenge for your pedagogy. How you are going to organize the classes. No more will this be valid that the teacher comes and speaks in the class and the students passively listen. In this pedagogy, then we are failing. We are failing comprehensively. So it is a challenge to the teachers. The advent of AI, therefore, is a challenge to the teachers as to use this tool. You can't ignore it. You can't say that, अच्छा कोई AI tools नहीं देखेंगे. देखेंगे, बिल्कुल देखेंगे. क्यों नहीं देखेंगे? You can't stop. So the challenge for you is to how you are going to use these tools, build it into your academic your academic delivery. Can you do that? You will have to debate on this. I don't know. But I know the solution will be there if all of you sit down and think about it. How do you assess the student? You know, for almost 3 decades, the entire education system depended on giving assignments. Assignments de do, pad ke aao, likh ke aao, then you are assessing. Today you can't give any no, you cannot give. Unless you want to read the AI generated content. So your assessment system has to change. How is it going to change? Do we have adequate amount of class hours to test the student one-to-one? I don't know. Can we design a different assessment tools? We need to think about it. The challenge is right in your front yard. You have to take up this challenge if the teaching in the institutions has to survive. I'm not saying that AI is all destructive. AI has got tremendous amount of scope to improve the learning process. The entire PAL, you heard of this PAL? The entire PAL is based on AI, artificial. What is PAL? In a PAL, what it does is that the artificial intelligence is trying to assess your standard. If you want to learn integration, by few steps it will check whether you know the basics or not. If you do not know the basics, it is going to throw up matter which is required for you to learn first. Then it will graduate you towards integration, learning integration. It's a fantastic instrument. Without compromising our own nature as a teacher. This is what is required to be debated, friends. I'm sure once we put our minds to it, we can find answers. But I want to caution you that you have no time left. The way artificial intelligence is spreading is amazing. I don't know if some of you have read this book. Singularity is Near. The book is named Singularity is Near. The distinction between a machine and a human being is going to diminish. And it will become one. The machine and the human intelligence will become one in such a way that the intelligence is no longer biological. Intelligence is no longer biological. Please, if you get your hands to it, please read Singularity is Near. He has predicted that by 2045, there's nothing like a human intelligence. Because every intelligence is machine-made, machine-controlled, machine-run. And you are just becoming one part of it. So friends, we have this sort of challenges before us. And I will be very happy if this conference debates on this and then come out with solutions. We have a huge ambition. It's not to have an ambition. Our ambition is to become a Vikasit Bharat by 2047. It is a great ambition to have. And India has got all the potential in terms of the IQ to run. In fact, I keep seeing people from across the world. Indian intellect is probably one of the best anywhere in the world. We need to tap this and then create new things. So 4 cognitive abilities, friends, I'll end with this. 4 cognitive abilities have to be promoted in the classrooms, whether it is school or in the college. The first one is your critical thinking. I already said a lot about it. Second one is creativity. It is not sufficient if you critical think kar diya, so you have actually come out with some solution, but that solution has to be creative. It has to be useful, right? So it has to be creative, then it will be of any use. Third thing is that communication. Lots of our students, best brains, you ask them to come and speak on the dais or explain something to them, they cannot explain because they know it, but they cannot explain. That's a deficiency in cognitive ability. Fourth one, friends, very important, is collaboration. Every Indian is great intellect on his own. You put three people together, they're always fighting. They say, no, ye tum jo bola jo galat hai. Bring him down. Collaboration, friends, is the only thing which can. Have you ever seen any football game where, of course, Messi, okay, there he ever cannot be Messi. There has to be a collective effort. Even Messi requires collaboration. So these four cognitive abilities are to be drilled into our academic system, which means that first we have to, as teachers, and then we have to think how to bring this into your pedagogy, and then you will see the result. I really hope that will be a new beginning, at least in some people. I can't expect everybody to be a transformed individuals, but at least if 10% of the people go back transformed, I'm sure we are seeing a beginning of a new. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening and inspiring thoughts. Your valuable insights have greatly enriched this conference. Now, I respectfully invite Professor Shashikala Vanjare, Vice Chancellor NEPA. Before inviting ma'am, it is my privilege to briefly introduce her. Professor. Oh, okay, ma'am, please. May I request ma'am to kindly address the gathering.
आप सभी को नमस्कार. Respected chair of this valedictory function, dignitaries on the dais, esteemed speakers, all the delegates. At the beginning, I would express my gratitude towards Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Hassan sir, Professor Vanaja, Professor Madhusudan, and their entire team. Friends, already we heard R. Subramanyam sir and Razaullah Khan sir. So definitely I would keep in mind what to speak and what not to speak. Yesterday, all of us, we heard the Tarana, ये बातें शहरे इल्मा है उर्दू ज़बान का, आओ सफ़र यहाँ से करे अरमा का. अब मुझे आरमा का, तो हाँ, ओके, हो सकती है गलती. I asked Professor Vanaja what it means. So she told me it's a gateway of knowledge or gateway to knowledge. See, when we talk about the NEP 2020 and future pathway for teacher education, already how the cognitive development takes place and what is the role, what are the commitments to go ahead, to move ahead and to take the country in a forward direction. Heard so many experts. What I was thinking since yesterday, this is the international conference. So definitely we have to derive an insight which will help to understand the thoughts, ideas, new experiments, best practices, innovations from different countries. When we focus, or when I focus, the NEP or the vision of the NEP, what I found, and the teacher educator, many of you are, what I found very important, because ITEP program is running very well, and in the ITEP, you must have noticed the goals of the foundational stage, or rather we can say that objectives. But to understand that FS, foundational stage, it is required to go through the National Curriculum Framework for foundational stage. While I'm talking, you can draw the conclusion later on. In the NCF for foundational stage 22, it was launched in the year 22, and then in 23, we got NCF for school education. In that ICF, there is one para on the meaning of education and the Indian perspective of education. When we read that para, it is very important to think and understand what should be the aim of teachers. Especially, I will not, but I like to focus teacher educators. In that para, it is highlighted as the Indian vision of education has been broad and deep, including the idea that education must foster both inner and external development. Learning about the external world should be in consonance with learning about one's inner reality and self. Now, this second part of the para is very important. We should know the learner's inner reality and he himself. And therefore, they have introduced Panchakoshas, Panchakoshatmak development in the early days of school. Not school, but early childhood education. Now, we are the teacher educators at higher level. We have to go deep, and we have to see what it means, what is the significance of this inner development and the with inner development. R. Subramanyam sir has highlighted 2-3 examples. बच्चों को हम सामने बैठा है और उसने कुछ मस्ती की तो उसको बोलते पीछे जाके बैठ जाओ. किसी बच्चे को हम डांट भी देते हैं कि तेरे को कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है तो बुद्धू है, हम और कुछ कुछ बोलते हैं. That is our routine. But see here, when we are at the platform of inter-conference, we must have that insight. Now, sharing together, talking together, and what I can say, many things happens when we at the international forum or platform. Now, here, the philosophical thoughts are very important, and that's why I have given the example of this tarana. अब हम लोग देखते हैं कि सूफी है, संत है, बहुत सारे हमारे यहाँ हम लोगों ने देखा है कि इवन पॉलिसी का फर्स्ट डॉक्यूमेंट जो आया था, सर नोज वेरी वेल बिकॉज सर वाज देयर. I heard sir many stories about you. He is highly associated. He was highly associated with NEPA. मित्रों 2-3 एग्जाम्पल्स केवल मैं बताना चाहूंगी. ड्राफ्ट में बहुत सारे ड्राफ्ट्स हुए, उसमें ये भी उल्लेख था गुरुदेव रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर का, और उन्होंने जो कविता लिखी थी, वेयर द माइंड इज विदाउट फियर एंड हेड इज हेल्ड हाई. क्यों लिखी थी वो कविता? उनको देखिए टीचर करके वी शुड नो the significance of that poem. In the year 1930 he Nobel Prize for that, Ginjali. But वो कविता क्यों लिखी थी? कविता इसलिए लिखी थी, हमारे भारतीय डरे से थे, उनके मन में भय था, और भय किस बात का था वो आपको पता है, और इसलिए वो डर नहीं. हम लोग श्री अरविंदो को जानते हैं, अरविंदो का भी उल्लेख ड्राफ्ट में था. श्री अरविंदो ने जो इंटीग्रल एजुकेशन की बात कही वो थी बॉडी, माइंड एंड इंटेलेक्ट. और हम लोग गांधी जी की बात करेंगे तो नई तालीम गांधी जी ने दी, जो आज हम फिर से उसको दोहरा रहे. अगेन वी आर रीफोकसिंग इट, स्किल एजुकेशन. और हम लोग पूरा नेशनल करिकुलम फ्रेमवर्क स्कूल एजुकेशन का देखते हैं तो हमें ध्यान में आता है कि पॉलिसी का पहला पेज उस पर ही लिखा है, वी हैव टू इंस्टिल द स्पिरिट. क्या लिखा है मालूम है? बीइंग एन इंडियन. मुझे लगता है रहे तो देश में हमें इंटरनेशनल फोरम पे भी ये बातें हो रही है कि सा विद्या या विमुक्त है, एजुकेशन इज व्हाट विच लिबरेट्स. हम लोग कितने फंसे रहते हैं हर चीज में, मुझे क्या मिलेगा, व्हाट आई विल गेट बैक. हम कुछ तो काम करें देश के लिए, हमारे छात्रों के लिए, और हम लोग बहुत सारी चीजें जो है वो हमें रीओरिएंट करके, हमें रिकैपिचुलेट करके, रिजुवेनेट करके हमको शिक्षा को आगे ले जाना पड़ेगा. हम जब सा विद्या या विमुक्त की बात करते हैं तो बच्चे है, और बच्चे का मैं बहुत बार हम लोग सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन की थियरी पढ़ाते हैं. और वो थ्योरी पढ़ाते वक्त हमें मालूम है कि एक पिरामिड शेप में उभर के आता है। अल्टीमेटली एवरीवन इज मूविंग टुवर्ड्स सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन। अब ये सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन तो हमारे यहाँ हमारे डीएनए में ही है। हम लोग इंक्लूसिव है। सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल 4 का उल्लेख जिक्र पॉलिसी में किया गया है कि वी वांट क्वालिटी एजुकेशन, इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन एंड प्रमोशन ऑफ लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्निंग। अब इंक्लूजन की बात हम लोग नेशनल इंटरनेशनल फोरम पे जब कहते हैं और जानते हैं तो वी हैव इन अवर डीएनए। बस उसको पॉलिश करके रिफाइन करके हमको एक्शन में कन्वर्ट करना है। मित्रों, ये फिलोसॉफिकल कन्फ्लुएंस जो है वो हमको इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे समझना बहुत आवश्यक है, बिकॉज इट इम्प्लाइज व्हाट, इंटीग्रेशन rather than imitation, integration rather than imitation. We don't want to get anybody, but we have whatever we have in our DNA, in our spirit, later and spirit, we have to transform to the generation, and that is our responsibility. Dialogue rather than dominance. हम लोग, we are not here to dominate. All of us are belonging to India, Bharat. We have that sense कि हम लोग बहुत ही अकोमोडेटिव है। हम सभी को समानता के दृष्टि से देखते हैं, ये हमारे भारत की पहचान है। और इसीलिए सर ने कॉलोनियल माइंडसेट की बात कही है, बिल्कुल सही है। हम लोग हमारे देश में इतना सारा, हैदराबाद आओ तो हैदराबाद का कल्चर, हम थोड़ा सा दूर जाकर हम आंध्र प्रदेश में चले जाएंगे तो वहां कुछ अलग दिखेगा। पहले तो एक ही था, अभी 2 हो गए। तो ये चीजें जो है इंटरनलाइजेशन ऑफ द माइंड, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। और इसीलिए हम लोग बहुत सारे वेस्टर्न फिलोसोफर्स भी हैं, हम रूसों को पढ़ते हैं पर गुरुदेव रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर को भूल जाते हैं। तो क्यों? हमारे हैं गुरुदेव, और गुरुदेव का जो एक था स्पिरिट था उनका देश के लिए, वो हमको जानना, समझना, उसको कॉम्प्रिहेंड करना बहुत आवश्यक है। रूसों की हम रूसों को सुनेंगे, नेचुरलिज्म की बात उन्होंने कही है, गुरुदेव ने भी कही है। गांधी जी ने एक्टिविटी बेस्ड लर्निंग नई तालीम के थ्रू बताया, प्रैग्मेटिस्ट भी वही बोल रहे हैं। तो हमें ये जो मिलन होना विचारों का, ये बहुत आवश्यक है। हमें शिक्षक को उपमा, ये बहुत हमारी अस्तित्व के लिए। मित्रों, मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगी कि मैं महाराष्ट्र से हूँ। महाराष्ट्र में माऊली बोलते, उसके साथ एक शब्द लगता है। तो ये मदरहुड जो है, मातृत्व का भाव, हम सभी बैठे हुए महिला जानते हैं कि ये मातृत्व केवल हम में नहीं है। तो हमारे जो टीचर्स हैं, हमारे जो गुरु हैं, गुरु भी हमें एक मातृत्व का वरदान उनके पास होता है, और वो हमें वैसा ट्रीट करते हैं। तो ये बच्चों में देखें, बच्चों को हम लोग उस भाव से देखें, हमारे हर शिक्षक में मातृत्व का भाव हो। फाउंडेशनल स्टेज से अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन में आएंगे हम लोग, तो हायर एजुकेशन में आएंगे। हम तो टीचर एजुकेटर्स हैं, तो हमें ये भाव समझना पड़ेगा। और ये जो है, तभी हम लोग, हमारा पाथवे जो है, फ्यूचर पाथवे, मालूम है हर दिन हम लोग एआई के शिकार हो रहे हैं। यानी अभी बाजू वाले को पूछते, भैया ये व्हाट्सएप पे आए हैं, फेसबुक पे आए हैं, रियल है क्या? तो वो बताता, अरे मैडम टच मत करिए, टच करते बराबर आपका सब डेटा चला जाएगा, ये आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के माध्यम से हो रहा है। पर मैं सभी सभा को अनुरोध करूंगी कि नहीं, हम अलग हैं। हमारा देश, हमारा भारत एक बहुत, हमारी जड़ें मजबूत है, हमारी विचार मजबूत है, हमारी संस्कृति बहुत मजबूत है। और इसीलिए हम लोग सा विद्या या विमुक्त एजुकेशन विच लिबरेट्स द सोल, आत्मा की मुक्ति के लिए प्रयास करें। वेस्टर्न बहुत सारा कहने के लिए, बट समय की, बस इतना ही कहूंगी कि टीचर करके हमारी भूमिका बहुत ही गर्वपूर्ण है। देश ने बहुत विकास किया। काफी लोगों, कल मैंने ये बात रखी थी, काफी लोगों का साइंटिस्ट है, ब्यूरोक्रेट्स है, लीडर्स है, थॉट लीडर्स है, पब्लिशर्स है, टेक्नोक्रेट्स है, सभी का समावेश है। हमारा भी है, हमारा है ना, हमारे टीचर का। हमारे टीचर ने तो इनको प्रोड्यूस किया है, तो हमें गर्व भी होना चाहिए। देश की प्रगति केवल कुछ लोगों से नहीं, वी आर नॉट द एक्सेप्शन। और इसलिए प्रोफेशन पे हमें गर्व होना चाहिए। हम लोग उम्मीद करेंगे कि हम सब मिलके काम करेंगे और हम वी विल मेक ए पाथ and we have to prove our footprints. We have to show to coming generation. With these words, we should go and definitely carry some messages from all the dignitaries and be a teacher. देखिए सीढ़ियां कितनी भी चढ़ लो पर टीचर टीचर ही होता है और वो दिखता भी होगा, चाहे वाइस चांसलर बने या और कुछ बने, उसके टीचर का जो बीज है उसमें वो उसको मरने नहीं देना है, नहीं तो सब खत्म। थैंक यू, थैंक वेरी मच।
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable work for Student International Conference. I am Professor Siddiqui sir to kindly felicitate Mahmood sir with Memento City Asansol. Mahmood Alam sir. सर हमारे प्रोग्राम में कोऑर्डिनेटर रहे हैं और again I request Siddiqui sir to request Ravula Krishna sir to come on stage. University of Hyderabad. He is the organizing secretary of this international conference. I request Siddiqui sir to kindly. Now I request Vahab to kindly felicitate Siddiqui sir. And I request Siddiqui sir to kindly felicitate our ma'am, Swaneja ma'am. She is the backbone of our university and she has done a tremendous job toward this seminar. So ma'am के लिए तो जोरदार तालियां बनती है. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. And now I request for feedback international seminar. I request Dr. Ujjwala Singh from University of Hyderabad to share her experience. And Susmita Naj, PhD scholar from Department of Education, Central University of Karnataka, be ready.
Good evening, one and all dignitaries on the diet and all the research scholar participants. A very good evening to one and all. From this conferences, first of all, I would like to express sincere thanks from our Department of Education and Education Technology and University of Hyderabad to MANUU giving us this great opportunity to do collaborative work with you. And from this conferences, it was a great experience for us and we really enjoyed a lot for working with you. And in these 2 days, we have learned all various kinds of things related to teacher education, what the current practices are going on in teacher education, what the challenges we are facing, how IK is related to it, and how technology is nowadays incorporating day by day in the teacher education program. So all those things are really very much a relevant topic in this current era, and we discussed in every sessions, in all the plenary sessions, in all technical sessions, we explained and we discussed lots of things, and definitely we got various kinds of fruitful results from various, I think more than 400 research papers we received, and from all those research papers, very fruitful result we found, and all those research findings are definitely helpful for get a fruitful path for teacher education program. And with this, I will conclude my work. Vanaja ma'am is looking towards me. So with this, I can conclude with one quotation. So this is every great transformation needs a spark. 2020 turns that spark into a shiny flame, illuminating the new pathway for the teacher education program. So from this conference also, that spark is given to all the academician, all the research scholar. Now it's time to shine in future. Thank you one and all.
Thank you so much. Now I request Susmita Nath, a PhD scholar, Department of Education, Central University of Karnataka. Please sum up within 1 minute.
Namaskar. A very good evening, Professor Vanaja ma'am, respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais. I am Shushmita Nath, research scholar from Department of Education, Central University of Karnataka. First of all, I would like to mention that this was my first conference as a research scholar, and I have to mention the bar has been set very high, because the kind of information and the knowledge that we have gained here has been very helpful, and it has the conference us to gain more perspective, think, and beyond. So, which is very important as a research scholar. Also, as a research scholar, we strive to gain more and more experiences and exposure, which conference has definitely provided to us. So, I'm very thankful for that. Coming to my paper presentation, which was chaired by Professor Nagendra sir and Dr. Shankar sir. Valuable feedbacks will be very helpful for my research, and I will definitely, sir, reflect on them. Thank you for that. And although I am from Kolkata, where we say that Kolkata biryani is the best, but I have to mention and admit that Hyderabadi biryani is delicious. So I'm very thankful, and I hope MANUU will conduct conferences more and will be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
Last feedback, Sayyid Samiullah Hussaini, PhD scholar, Department of Education, MANUU. Please sum up within 1 minute.
ओके मैम, आज के इस इख्तितामी सेशन में इसके सदर और स्टेज पे तशरीफ फरमा मंदुबीन, प्रोफेसर्स, टीचर्स और रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स के साथ साथ तमाम शुरका, अस्सलामु अलैकुम एंड अ वेरी हेल्दी गुड आफ्टरनून। कहा जाता है कि नया सफर है, नई मंजिलें तुम्हें बुलाती है, मुसाफिर रविश कारवां बदल डालो। कुछ कीजिए नाम खुदा लेकर, कुछ है कामयाबी कोई और चीज नहीं, काम करना ही कामयाबी है। मैं तमाम रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स की तरफ से डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड ट्रेनिंग और बिलखुसूस वनजा एम मैम के साथ साथ डिपार्टमेंट को समीम कल्ब से मुबारकबाद पेश करता हूं कि आपने एक मिसाली कॉन्फ्रेंस का इनेकाद यहां पर अमल में लाया, और ये कॉन्फ्रेंस अपनी नौयत के एतबार से और अपने अगराज व मकासद के हुसूल की नौयत के एतबार से बहुत ही कामयाब कॉन्फ्रेंस में जहां तक मुझे मालूम है कि 300 से ज्यादा 450 से ज्यादा शुरका ने इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में शिरकत की, और इसके साथ साथ पहले दिन 15 टेक्निकल सेशंस का इनेकाद अमल में लाना ये अपने आप में एक बड़ी कामयाबी है, और इसके साथ साथ दूसरे दिन 5 टेक्निकल सेशंस को रूबे अमल लाया गया। इस मौके पर मैं ऑनलाइन और ऑफलाइन दोनों ही तर्ज पर डिपार्टमेंट ने बहुत अच्छे अंदाज में इन सेशंस का इनेकाद अमल में लाया। मैं इस मौके पर मुबारकबाद पेश करता हूं, और बिलखुसूस मीरे कारवां शोबे तालीम और तरबियत के लिए कहना चाहता हूं कि अ लीडर इज अ पर्सन हु नोज द वे, हु गोज द वे एंड हु शोज द वे, दैट इज प्रोफेसर वनजा मैम। इफ्तिताही सेशन हो, प्रिलिमिनरी सेशन हो या टेक्निकल सेशन हो, तमाम सेशंस नॉलेज शेयरिंग के एतबार से बहुत कामयाब रहे, और यकीनन आने वाले दिनों में जो हम जिन मुस्तकबिल की राहों का तस्करा ये 2 दिन करते रहे, ये मुस्तकबिल की राहों को हमवार करने में यकीनन हम तमाम के लिए बहुत कामयाब रहेंगे। मैं इस मौके पर पूरे डिपार्टमेंट को, बिलखुसूस वनजा मैम साहबा को, HOD मैम साहबा को, तमाम प्रोफेसर्स, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर्स, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर्स के साथ साथ स्कॉलर्स, रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स को मुबारकबाद पेश करता हूं, और साथ ही साथ अमीर जामिया शेखुल साहब और का भी शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं कि आपने हम के लिए बेहतरीन कॉन्फ्रेंस का इनेकाद अमल में लाया, जहां सिर्फ नॉलेज शेयरिंग ही नहीं हुई बल्कि हमारी नेटवर्किंग भी हुई और बेहतरीन हैदराबादी खाने के साथ मेहमानों की जियाफत और मेहमान नवाजी की गई, जिसको मंदूबीन आने वाले दिनों में बहुत दिनों तक याद रखेंगे। वक्त की बहुत कमी है, इसीलिए मैं अपनी बात को इस बात के साथ खत्म करना चाहूंगा कि इस यादगार कॉन्फ्रेंस के अख्तिताम पर यह कहना चाहूंगा कि उजाले अपनी यादों के हमारे साथ रहने दो, न जाने किस गली में जिंदगी की शाम हो जाए। जज़ाकल्लाह, थैंक यू सो मच।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया समीला। हम लोग टाइम से बहुत ज़्यादा लेट चल रहे हैं, इसीलिए सॉरी। नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट प्रोफेसर सिद्दीकी मोहम्मद महमूद, ही इज for her address. Before that, in brief, I just say he is a senior professor of Department of Education and Training at MANUU. He has served as Education Registrar in charge OSD2, known for his work in teacher education, as a doctorate for promoting community harmony and unsung hero awards. So
उठ के अब बज़्मे जहां का और ही अंदाज है, उठ के अब बज़्मे जहां का और ही अंदाज है, मशरिक़ व मग़रिब में तेरे दौर का आगाज़ है। ये मैंने अपने आप के लिए नहीं कहा, ये सिर्फ आपके लिए भी नहीं कहा, हिंदुस्तानियों के लिए मैंने कहा कि बहुत ही कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ हमको आगे बढ़ना है। टीचर एजुकेशन के बारे में बहुत सारी बातें हमको सुनने को मिली। मैं भी एक बात आपके बताता हूं। किसी ने बहुत अच्छा कहा है कि बंदो गुरुपंद कंजकर पास महामोह तम पुंज जासू कर रवि कर निकर। टीचर का जो रूप है वो हरि का रूप होता है, वो गॉड का रूप होता है, और उस रूप को बनाने का काम जो लोग करते हैं वो टीचर एजुकेटर्स करते हैं। और उस टीचर एजुकेशन के हवाले से 2 रोज से हम अपनी बातें कह रहे हैं, सुन रहे हैं और बहुत मजा आ रहा है। मैं एक बात आपसे कहना चाहता हूं। लॉन्ग एगो देयर वाज अ फिलोसोफर नेम्ड डायोजेनिस। Diogenes was a wonderful philosopher, but every act of him was different from all other human beings. One of the characteristics was he used to search something in the broad daylight with a lamp in his hand. When people used to ask him, what are you searching for? आप किस चीज की तलाश कर रहे हैं? वो कहता था कि मुझे डिस्टर्ब न करो, अच्छे खरे इंसान की तलाश कर रहा हूं। आई एम सर्चिंग फॉर अ गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग। कब? हजरत ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम की पैदाइश से भी तकरीबन 300 साल पहले। अगर आज होता तो शायद वो तलाश करना छोड़ देता, खुद ही खुदकुशी कर लेता, है ना। उस दौर में एक अच्छे इंसान कर रहा था, आज के दौर में तो बहुत मुश्किल है। लेकिन खैर, मान लीजिए वही डायोजेनिस आज से 100 साल पहले आता। A lamp in his hand in the broad daylight. And if you would ask him, what are you searching for, sir? आप किस चीज की तलाश कर रहे हैं? उर्दू वाले जान लें कि ये डायोजेनिस कोई और नहीं है, जिसको उर्दू वाले देवजांस कल्बी कहते हैं। उसके हाथ में कुत्ता भी हुआ करता था, रस्सी पकड़ा हुआ रहता था हमेशा। तो अगर आप उससे पूछते कि सर आप अब क्या तलाश कर रहे हैं, वो हजारों साल पहले तो आप एक अच्छे इंसान की तलाश कर रहे थे। 100 साल पहले अगर आप पूछते कि सर आप क्या तलाश कर रहे हैं, पता नहीं आपकी क्या सोच है। लेकिन हमारा कलेक्टिव विजडम जिस तरीके से आगे बढ़ा, तो शायद 100 साल पहले वो ये कहता कि आई एम सॉरी, प्लीज डोंट डिस्टर्ब मी, आई एम सर्चिंग फॉर ए गुड टीचर। मैं एक अच्छे टीचर की तलाश कर रहा हूं। कलेक्टिव विजडम ने हमको ये सिखा दिया था कि अगर माशरे में समाज अच्छा इंसान देखना चाहते हैं तो उससे पहले एक अच्छा टीचर होना बहुत जरूरी है। एक अच्छा टीचर ही एक अच्छा इंसान तलाश करता है। लेकिन मान लीजिए कि वही डायोजेनिस आज 6 फरवरी 2026 को मानू के कैंपस में इतनी जगमगाती गाड़ियों के दरमियान, बहुत ही ग्लिटरिंग फेसेस के दरमियान, यहां अगर लैंप लिए वो तलाश करता रहता और आप पूछते कि सर आज क्या तलाश कर रहे हैं आप? 100 साल पहले तो आप टीचर की तलाश कर रहे थे, आज आप क्या तलाश कर रहे हैं? वो कहता है कि मैं टीचर एजुकेटर की तलाश कर रहा हूं। इसलिए कि एक अच्छा टीचर एजुकेटर ही एक अच्छा टीचर बनाता है, और एक अच्छा टीचर ही एक अच्छा इंसान बनाता है। अच्छे इंसान चाहिए तो अच्छे टीचर्स चाहिए, अच्छे टीचर्स चाहिए तो अच्छे टीचर एजुकेटर्स चाहिए। वो किसी और से नहीं कहता, वो आपसे कहता, वो मुझसे कहता, वो हम सब से कहता। अब उसके बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं, टीचर एजुकेशन के बारे में। लेकिन बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे हैं कि जो सोचते हैं कि फ्रॉम वेयर टू ब्रिंग सच आइडियल टीचर एजुकेटर्स। द क्वेश्चन इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट एंड इट्स वेरी ट्रिकी। द आंसर इज ऑल्सो वेरी ट्रिकी। कहां से लेकर आए? लोगों ने बात की प्री सर्विस की, आईटेप के बारे में बात हुई, लोगों ने बात की इंडक्शन प्रोग्राम की, और लोगों ने बात की कंटिन्यूअस प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट की। ये सारी चीजें अपनी जगह पर हैं। लेकिन मान लीजिए कि लोकमान्य तिलक जी ने जैसे कहा था कि स्वराज पैदाइशी है और मैं उसे हासिल कर ही रहूंगा। अब किसी व्यक्ति ने अगर ये डिसाइड कर लिया है कि न सुधरना पैदाइशी हक है और मैं नहीं रहूंगा, तो will it be there any improvement? No. All the systems of pre-service training or continuous professional learning, all these plans will get failed if somebody has decided not to change himself. So the $1 million question is, have we resolved? आपने तारीफें बहुत की कॉन्फ्रेंस की, बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन उसी के साथ साथ सवाल ये है कि क्या हम में से हर शख्स ने, मैंने, आपने ये तय किया है कि इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के जरिए से किसी और को नहीं, सबसे पहले अपने आप को रिफॉर्म करना है। अगर आपने ऐसा डिसाइड किया है तो हमारी कॉन्फ्रेंस सक्सेसफुल, और अगर आपने ऐसा डिसाइड नहीं किया है तो प्लीज अभी से आप कर लीजिए। इसलिए कि इतने दिनों की मेहनत है, डीन मैडम की, एचओडी मैडम की, इतने दिनों की जो मेहनत की गई वो सिर्फ इसीलिए है कि हम अपने आप को रिफॉर्म करें। सिर्फ आखिरी बात, कैसे रिफॉर्म करें? तो अपने मन में डूब कर पाजा सुरागे जिंदगी, अपने मन में डूब कर पाजा सुरागे जिंदगी, तू अगर मेरा नहीं बनता न बन, अपना तो बन। अपने लिए तो आप ट्राई कीजिए। कैसे ट्राई करेंगे? सिर्फ वो बात करके मैं खत्म कर। एक व्यापारी के पास कहीं से बहुत कीमती हीरा आ गया, बहुत कीमती हीरा। वो जौहरी के पास गया तो जौहरी ने कहा कि इतना कीमती हीरा है कि मैं कीमत नहीं बता सकता हूं इसकी, बहुत कीमती है। लेकिन आप डायरेक्टली बादशाह सलामत के पास चले जाइए, शायद ही वो कीमत दे सके। यू डायरेक्टली अप्रोच टू द एम्परर, मे बी ही मे बी एबल टू गिव यू द रियल कॉस्ट। गया वहां पर, बादशाह ने वो हीरा देखा, अपने मंत्रियों को बताया, और सारे मंत्रियों ने अलग से बादशाह से कहा, बादशाह सलामत, ये हीरा तो इतना कीमती है, इतना कीमती है कि अगर आप अपना पूरा एम्पायर दे दें, आपके पास जितने डायमंड्स है सब दे दें, आपकी फौज दे दें, आपकी हुकूमत दे दें, तब भी ये हीरा आपको सस्ते में मिलेगा, इतना कीमती हीरा है। बादशाह ने कहा, अच्छा ऐसी बात है, तो मैं तो ये रहा चाहूंगा, लेकिन मैं बादशाह भी छोड़ना नहीं चाहता, बादशाह भी छोड़ना नहीं चाहता। कुछ ऐसा करो कि हीरा मुझे मिल भी जाए और बात भी ना जाए। तो वजीर होते हैं, उन्होंने आइडिया लगाया। उस आदमी से कहा कि देखो जी, हीरा आज दे देना है, हीरा आज दे देना है, और कल तुमको 1 दिन की बादशाहत मिलेगी। उस 1 दिन की बादशाहत में तुम जो चाहो यहां से लेके चले जाना, महल के सारे दरवाजे तुम्हारे लिए खोल दिए जाएंगे, हीरे जवाहरात कपड़े सब कुछ लेके चले जाओ। उसने कहा अच्छा बात है। तो उसने कहा ठीक दिया, चला गया। अब रात भर उसको नींद नहीं आ रही। क्यों नींद नहीं आ रही है? What he might be thinking? He was thinking, what should I collect from the palace? Whether I should get golden ornaments, whether I should collect diamonds, what should I get? इसी परेशानी में रात भर सो नहीं सका, खाना नहीं खा सका, कुछ नहीं कर सका। सुबह में गया, दरवाजे वाकतन खुले थे, अंदर गया। सबसे पहले वजीर आजम ने क्या किया था? सबसे पहले अच्छे अच्छे कपड़े सजा दिए थे वहां पर, खूब अच्छे अच्छे लिबास, बादशाह की पोशाकें थी। तो उसने सोचा कि भाई मैं 1 दिन का बादशाह हूं, मेरा कपड़ा बादशाह के जैसा होना चाहिए। तो पहले कपड़ा तलाश किया, अब ये देख रहा, वो देख रहा, इस आईने में खड़े रहा, उस आईने में खड़े रहा, एक कपड़ा पसंद आया, पहन लिया। कहा कि चलो ये अच्छा हो गया। अगले रूम में गया, अगले हॉल में गया, अच्छे अच्छे पकवान पक रहे थे वहां पर, बादशाह सलामत के पकवान थे वो, और फ्री था, जो चाहे ले सकता था। उसने कहा खाली पेट हूं, अगर गिर गया तो क्या फायदा होगा, रात भर लगा हुआ हूं, सुबह में नहीं खाया, रात में नहीं खाया, तो खाना खा लेता, खाना खा लिया। अब वहां से निकला, पेट भर गया था, अगले रूम में गया तो वहां पर वजीर आजम ने क्या किया था, बहुत अच्छा बेड सजा रखा था और वहां पर बहुत अच्छी जो कनीजें थी वो पंखा लिए झुलस रही थी वहां पर। कहा कि आइए बादशाह सलामत, आइए आइए आराम कीजिए। उसने सोचा कि मैं थक गया हूं, अभी तो पूरा दिन बाकी है, सारी चीजें मैं ले लूंगा लेकिन पूरा दिन बाकी है, अभी तो 11 ही बजे। तो वो गया और थोड़ी देर लेट गया। उसके एक शर्त रखी कि सर लेटने से पहले एक बात सोच लीजिए कि शाम में सूरज गुरूब होने तक आपको जो मिल सकता है आप ले लीजिए, उस वक्त के बाद नहीं मिलेगा। उसने कहा हाँ ठीक है, मुझे मालूम है। सो गया। अब सो गया, थोड़ी देर सोया, उसको लगा कि मैं थोड़ी देर ही सोया हूं, तो लगा कि कोई मुझे उठा रहा है। उसने कहा कि कौन उठा रहा है मुझे? कि वजीर आजम ने कहा कि मैं हूं इस मुल्क का वजीर आजम। कहा कि अच्छा फिर? कहा कि आपका टाइम खत्म। कहा टाइम खत्म, ऐसे कैसे? अभी तो मैंने कुछ लिया ही नहीं, अभी तो मैंने लिबास लिया, खाना खाया और आराम किया, अभी तो कुछ नहीं, टाइम खत्म। आपसे कहा गया कि बस सन के, सूरज के डूबने तक आपका मौका है। तो उसने कहा नहीं मैं तो नहीं जाऊंगा, मैं तो कुछ लेकर ही जाऊंगा यहां से। अड़ गया वो। वज़ीर आज़म ने एक मरतबा कहा आपको यहां से अब जाना होगा सर। 1 2 3 अपने संतरियों से कहा, उन्होंने उठा के उसको ले जाके सड़क पे पटक दिया। सेम इज द सिचुएशन विथ ऑल ऑफ अस। इन द फॉर्म ऑफ लाइफ वी हैव गॉट invaluable diamond in our hands. Now, $1 million question is, with this diamond of life, what we are acquiring? सिर्फ अच्छा कपड़ा, सिर्फ अच्छा खाना और सिर्फ अच्छा आराम, या अच्छी नॉलेज, अच्छी स्किल्स, अच्छी टेक्नोलॉजी, अच्छी AI, अच्छा एटीट्यूड, अच्छी लाइकिंग्स, अच्छे इंटरेस्ट, अच्छे थॉट्स, अच्छा वैल्यू सिस्टम। अगर ये चीजें ले रहे हैं हम, अलग अलग हॉल्स, अलग शख्सियात में से यहाँ लोग बैठे हैं, स्टार्स बैठे हुए हैं, किसी से नॉलेज ले लीजिए, किसी से वैल्यूज ले लीजिए, किसी से इंटरेस्ट ले लीजिए, और ये तमाम चीजों से लेकर ही जब आप दोबारा आईने में खड़े रहेंगे तो आपको एक अच्छा टीचर अपने आप में दिखाई देगा। थैंक यू वन एंड ऑल।
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words and support throughout this today conference. Now, I humbly request Professor Siddiqui, sir, to kindly felicitate Professor Akhtar Parveen ma'am. She is the organizing secretary of this two-day international conference. Akhtar Parveen ma'am, please stage pe aaye. जोरदार तालियां बजनी चाहिए मैम की सारी खिदमतों के लिए, जो पूरे प्रोग्राम में मैम ने इतना हार्ड वर्क किया है। थैंक यू सो मच। नाउ फाइनली इट्स टाइम फॉर वर्ड ऑफ थैंक्स. It's time for word of thanks by Professor Najma Begum, Department of Education and Training, MANUU. All participants, as per their registration number, collect your certificates from registration desk after the national anthem, not now, okay?
Respected dignitaries on the dais of the distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, delegates, and artists. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening to all of you. As we come to the conclusion of the valedictory session of the International Conference on NEP 2020, Future Pathways for Teacher Education, I, Dr. Najma Begum, Professor of Department of Education and Training, take privilege to propose the vote of thanks. At the outset, we express our deep sense of gratitude to Senior Professor Siddiqui Mahmood Sir, Dean DSW, for graciously presiding over this valedictory session and for inspiring guidance and constant support to academic initiatives. We are immensely thankful to our chief guest, Professor Shashikala Vanjari, Vice Chancellor, NEPA, New Delhi,
for her valuable presence and for sharing profound insights on the teacher education in the context of NEP 2020. Our sincere thanks are extended to our guest of honor, Shri R. Subramanyam, IS retired Chairman, Sai Foundation, and Professor Muhammad Raziullah Khan, Director, CDOE, MANUU Hyderabad, for honoring this occasion and for the encouraging and enlightening addresses. We place on record our heartfelt appreciation to the conference convener, Professor Valedictory, and the conference coordinator, Professor Shaheen Sheikh, Professor J.V. Madhusudan, and Dr. Mahmood Alam for their visionary leadership and academic rigor and tireless efforts in successfully organizing this international conference. Our special thanks to the organizing secretaries, Professor Akhtar Parveen Ma'am and Dr. Ravla Krishnaya for meticulous planning and flawless coordination toward the conference. We gratefully acknowledge the efforts of Department of Education and Training, MANUU Hyderabad, College of Teacher Education, Asansol, and the Department of Education and Education Technology, University of Hyderabad, for their collaborative support under the aegis of School of Education and Training. We also thank all the esteemed technical resource persons, chairpersons, co-chairs, coordinators, rapporteurs, participants, and research scholars of the Department of Education and Training, MANUU, and the technical and administrative teams of teaching and non-teaching for those collective efforts ensured success of the endeavor. Finally, we thank the participants' scholarly contribution and enthusiasm, which truly reflected the spirit of international academic collaboration. With these words, I once again extend our sincere thanks to all those who have contributed to making this conference a meaningful and memorable one. Thank you.
Now it is time for the national anthem. I request the technical team
For the national anthem, I request for the national anthem, I request